channel today. We'll do that window up. You join me from the driver's seat of a 2007 BMW M5. Massive thank you to Ryan. Let's just start this video off with a few things. BMW M5 V10 E60, 5 litre up front V10. Beautiful, beautiful little engine. TUBI exhaust system. I'm going to say TUBI in this video because I think that's how it's pronounced, TUBI. Let's just sit back for a split second and enjoy some V10 TUBI noises. It sounds, although inside slightly baffled because these are built incredibly well. Oh, it's just a V10 wet moment. Oh, now the E60 M5 for me, when I was growing up, was my supercar, my version of your Ferraris and your Lambos and all that. This was the car that got me excited. I love the idea of a 500 plus brake horsepower V10 5 litre up front, a big saloon, luxury, comfort. I've only done one of these in the past and it was a fair few years ago now, and I can't quite remember how that felt. So when I had the chance to drive this one, I said, please, let's take it out. And he said, sure, take it out for the day, go and enjoy it. So today I am going to experience what this thing is like to drive for the day, the ownership experience, the excitement I get from it, the price reflectant things that you will get from owning an E60 M5, and all of the smiles on the way. But a basic rundown of the car: it's a 2007 and it's the LCI facelift edition, so it has nicer rear lights, it has a nicer bits inside of here, but the talking point is that V10 up front, that 5 litre, which churns out 507 brake horsepower from the factory. This one though has had a remap, hasn't been on the dyno since, but it's been remapped to accommodate the mods that has been put on this car. These mods include a pipe across air filter up front to give it just a little bit more induction noise, and it sounds just epic. The real talking point though, the modification that you would do to any M5, is that TUBI exhaust system. Again, cut to some exhaust footage. It sounds I've actually had a moment in the pants over this thing. Ready, round this corner. Oh, I've had a moment. This thing is just it, isn't it? It is just motoring perfection. You have all the comfort and these seats with the M badging on. Oh, so beautiful. Black interior with this pearl white paint job. To my knowledge, you did not get a pearl white M5 from the factory, so this one has been resprayed in this glorious white paint job. Right, oh sorry, I'm videoing, aren't I? I'm just having a moment in my pants over this thing. Oh my god. So, yes, pearl white paint job outside. It has been resprayed at some point. The pearl has been done so well on this car, and it gives a good contrast. So you have the pearl white outside to this completely black interior with the silver dash pieces all round. Lovely place to be in here though. These seats, gloriously comfortable. The flappy paddles in front of you. The talking point is, yes, if you're going to buy one of these, we will get into the costs and stuff, because although these are fabulous cars and honestly they're exquisite to drive, you've got to have deep pockets to have one. You've got to know that this thing is going to go wrong, or if it doesn't, it's going to chew up petrol like it is going out of fashion. Like, it's not even funny. This thing is getting to £70 worth of petrol, full tank, £70, 200 miles, 200. But it isn't about that. It isn't about the sub 7 mpg. I say sub because it says 7 mpg in front of me, but it doesn't actually go any lower than that. In my opinion, it doesn't actually want to terrify you with the exact mpg this car does, but I don't care. It's so, do you know what it is? It's a bit, it takes you away. The sound and the pace is incredible, but you do have to look down or look over. I have a heads-up display in this one right in front of me. You have to glance at that to realise how fast you're going. This is silent and just luxurious inside, enough for you not to realise that you have broken the speed limit way back, way back. That's the glorious thing about M5s. It is a tarmac munching supercar with the potential to put your kids in the back, dominate fuel stations. Pretty much anyone you go to, you have to fill up with petrol. And yes, it's getting on a bit, and yes, the SMG box is slow at best, but I don't care about any of that. You don't buy one because you care about how slow the gear changes, and you don't care about how many times you go to a fuel station. It is just motoring at its best. For me, this is, for me, you have the supercar engine, you have the supercar sounds, you have the supercar pace, 200-mile-an-hour car. This is the end of the day. You have the luxury upper class car you could ever want to afford. It has the back seat space for all your mates or your kids. It has the boot space for you to go on holiday in it and go on a tour around anywhere you fancy. That's the best thing about cars like this. It ticks every box. It ticks the fizz box, it ticks the power box, it ticks the drift box if you want it to. I have the EDC down here in the most aggressive setting. I have the flappy paddle gearbox in the most aggressive setting, and I have the M mode button on so I can have a little fun. It lets it break loose a little bit, but it won't kill you. That's the best bit. It lets you slip, it lets you enjoy this platform of a car with that engine up front with no real danger to yourself, because it could get quite hairy quite quickly in this thing. So guys, just have a quick look around this BMW M5. So a quick breakdown of the car. This is a 2007 LCI facelift model of the E60 M5. It has the 5-litre V10 up front, producing just over 500 brake horsepower. This one has had a remap. It has got an exhaust system, and it has got an air filter to accommodate with the remap that's been put on this car. So it is running over the factory figures, but obviously it hasn't had a dyno, so I can't quote numbers. Paint job itself isn't from the factory. It is a crystal white paint that has been put onto this M5, and as you can see, the sparkle on this car is absolutely beautiful. I think the E60 shape wears white very, very well. Now, bodywork wise, there isn't a lot of modifications to talk about. You have black kidney grills up front. You have the original wheels sprayed black to go with the front black grills. You have the tinted wheel nuts from the factory, and coming round the back, you have the spoiler in black as well. M5 badging just at the back, but what a glorious color. And from this angle right here is my favorite. The rear lights, because it's an LCI model, are a little bit nicer than the previous pre-facelift generation, and the color, again, just so exquisite. When you get the pop from the color, I probably will get killed in the comment section, but how I would pronounce it is the TUBI exhaust system, full exhaust system on this, and it just breathes so much life into these M5s, because from the factory they do sound incredible, but I think putting an exhaust system on this is a must for any M5 owner. Now, one of the parts I can't show you is the quaif diff that's been put into the back of this thing. Unfortunately, from the factory they do have a, I would say, disposable rear diff in these, so this actually has an upgraded quaif diff in the rear, and it does a fantastic job of keeping this car in sort of a straight line. It does go sideways incredibly well, this thing. But I think, again, if you are looking for an M5, try and find one with an upgraded diff maybe. It would be in your best interest as a serviceable part to buy one with a quaif diff. Now, M5 badging just there as we come up inside of this beautiful E60 M5. You have the M5 steering wheel with the flappy paddles just behind the M button just there, so you can actually configure this completely to the car. So once you press that, it creates more power, your gear shifts are a little bit more aggressive, the EDC, which is the suspension, gets a little bit firmer, but you can actually completely program that to this M button, so you can turn on and off right there. You have these beautiful seats, which I am a huge fan of. M logoing just up there in the headrests, and the interior is just, it's classic BMW. It's not too old. It has aged incredibly well, the interior in this thing, and it still feels very fresh. This one especially, not like other M5s, but this one especially feels very tight inside. And I think if you're going to buy one and it feels tight from the driver's seat, you're definitely onto a winner. A couple more things to note about the interior. If you aren't into your M5, these actually have the bolsters that move when you go around a corner, so you can actually turn them on and off. But once you move, it actually increases and decreases the size of the bolsters, so it gives you a lot more bolster support when you're throwing this thing around a corner. Very cool thing from this generation M5. And jumping in, just show you from the driver's seat, you have the gear selector down here in neutral with a good old handbrake, heated seats, the bolster button just there down near the heated seat buttons. Great sound system in these as well, and to point out, awesome cup holders. Again, if you didn't know the 5 Series, they have them incredible cup holders. I mean, that is just so cool. So all in all, what a beautiful car. I mean, look at it, it's out there behind me. But let's get back on some roads, go and enjoy that V10. Seriously guys though, if you are after one of these E60 M5s, let me break down a few costs for you. Get them sub £20,000, say, for a good mileage one. This has 62,000 miles on it, so it's a perfect prime example of an M5 that you would actually want to buy. This one has had many service intervals. It's had a full service history from BMW. This has had an upgraded quaif diff at the back because these chew themselves up a lot. They really do. They chew themselves up. So the rear diff has been replaced with a quaif diff. It will do, as I've already said, £70 worth of pep in the space of 200 miles. You do have problems with the gearboxes. You do have problems with the Vanos systems. But if you can overcome all of that and enjoy it for its intended purpose, which is being a supercar underneath in this glorious body and driving perfection, in my opinion. If you can put up with all of that, all of the problems that come with these, and if you have the means and the experience, say, to keep one of these on the road, you're winning all day long. Because this is, without a doubt, one of the best cars you can buy for sub £20,000. It is just phenomenal in every way. And if you put an exhaust and an air filter and a cheeky remap on it, you've won all day long. Oh, it's so good. So before I go cross-eyed even more, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, share and subscribe to the channel. Head over to fydapparel.com, cop yourself some FYD merch, just like the Rice Fiesta t-shirt I am wearing right now. If you did like this video, please give it a like. But I'm going to roll off into the distance on a cheeky B-road with this beautiful E60 M5. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you all on the next one. Oh!